Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to be going over the new gyms information out of all the gyms that they posted in this. We already got the numbers for the rest of them, so we're just going to go over the new ones. And yeah, I'll kind of talk about what I think and any ideas that pop up. So let's get started here. First, we've got Rage. Uh, Looks like the 20% is 10% increased attack damage. Supported attacks deal 4 to 7 added physical damage with weapons per 10 rage. So what is that? 50, we got what, 20 to 35? That's pretty good. And again, that's weapon damage, so sadly no face breakers. But attacks deal 39 to 72 added physical damage with weapons while you have at least 10 rage. So it's actually pretty big. That's over 100 on the top end added physical damage while you have 50 rage. And then you gain the ability to gain 1 rage on melee hit. So yeah, everybody has rage. Pretty cool. You can't take the triple effect like the Berserker can, but still, rage is a pretty good tool that it's kind of cool that everybody has. And this is no more than once every zero point 0.4 seconds. So that's the thing to take into account. Um, but still, pretty good. I mean, you can't. If anything, this is an early support gem to use until you get either enough weapon damage or if you are really wanting to use the rage, I think Berserk. I mean, if it's enough, then yeah, that might be a combination that you want to use. Okay, next we have Steel Skin. So we've already got the numbers on this, so I won't really cover it too much. 30-second cooldown, instant. Uh, Quality is 10% increased cooldown. Recovery speed looks like, so pretty good. Next we got Dash. So what is this? This skill's cast speed cannot be modified. Rip. But we got 67% increase cooldown recovery speed. Cooldown is 2 seconds. So I wonder how that's going to work if movement skills essentially have a global cooldown. I wonder if the global cooldown is something like 1 second then? Because if they all share it? Or would it be the one that you just used, whatever the cooldown for that is the cooldown before the next one can be used? I wonder if that's how that works. Blade Storm. So again, we've already kind of seen. I believe this was the one that has the circle around you kind of attack. So we got, what do we have for 120% base? Okay. This looked pretty good as far as kind of like a bleed effect in the sandstorm that chases down. So be kind of cool. Base duration is 3 seconds. So I guess that's the AoE that whatever AoE you leave. Increased skill effect duration, that's the 20% quality. 12% more attack speed. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Also, I forgot, but looking up at the top, the attack speed is 70% of base, with an added damage effectiveness of 120%. Okay, that's a cast time, and that's instant, of course. So, what do we got here? We got maximum of 3 blade storms at a time, and sandstorm grants 38% increased movement speed. Okay, so essentially again the sand clear speed, blood single target. It's pretty good. Blade storm deals 50% less damage with hits and ailments. Okay, so probably I was hoping this would be more of a bleed bonus, but I don't think so. But I guess it just leaves that damage dot, and apparently that dot hits, so that's kind of cool. Blood and Sand. What do we got here? This is this the... Yes, this is the stance. So, cast time is instant, but it does have a 2-second cooldown, so you can't switch for that. Melee skills deal 15% more area damage while in blood stance. Melee skills have 5% less area of effect while in blood stance. Melee skills have 15% more area of effect while in sand, and 5 less area damage while in sand. That's pretty cool. That's still a decent buff for damage. Okay, so if you take that into your account, that 50% less damage doesn't sound that bad. So this is kind of just a little buff. The main thing though is this does end up taking a gym slot, so that's another ability to have on the bar. Definitely probably going to be having a fight to find out what abilities we got. But 52% increased cooldown recovery, that's probably some base from leveling and a percentage from the quality. Berserk. Okay, here we go. This is one I'm really interested in, because I definitely intend to play Berserker, but I want to know if it's good enough to run the Rage support. So, instant cast time, 5-second cooldown. At least 5 Rage required to start berserking. 30% more damage with attacks, that's pretty good. 29% more attack speed, that's huge. 29% more movement speed, so feels pretty good, I guess, with, say, doing a Cyclone. 26% less damage taken. Ooh, that's pretty good. Again, though, I guess with Immortal Call, the less won't stack, but you could kind of essentially use this as a damage Immortal Call with, in the sense of if you're definitely playing softcore. So that's pretty good. Lose 5 rage per second. Okay, so that's the why you need at least 5. And each second, 20% increased rage loss rate. So does it have a duration? I guess when you lose rage, does it end? Because it is a duration tag skill. So consume rage at an accelerated rate to provide a powerful buff, granting more damage. Okay, that's all it says. So I think it's when you run out of rage, this is done. So what is that? 20%. So you get 5, then 20% I guess would be 6, 7, 8, 9. So you got what, 7 seconds? I think that's 7 seconds if I did the math right. And then 20% increased attack damage for the 20% quality. This skill's cooldown does not recover during its effect. So you get 7 seconds, and then you get... Okay, so this isn't permanent uptime. That's what I was about to say. Actually, I don't recall, but I am going to look at Immortal Call real quick. I don't think it... No, it does not recover during its effect. Okay, cool. So that's another thing there. I forgot about that. But you can get 7 seconds on this. I just wonder if any kind of duration causes it to last longer. But yeah, that looks pretty good. More movement speed is great for Cyclone and, well, a lot of builds. And more damage and more attack speed. That's pretty big. So if you can fit that in a build, that's a lot of damage. I know I'm probably going to try to use that in every softcore build I play. Well, I mean, the less damage too, if I can use that on hardcore even. Why not? Okay, Perforate. Also, with that said, I really want more skill slots somehow. Okay, Perforate, here we go. This is smash the ground, bring forth multiple spears. Okay, so this is one that they showed. Looks like we got 65% less damage in blood stance. And I guess that's because you get so many hits so effectively. So what do we got up at the top? Attack speed, 80% of base. Added damage effectiveness of 196. That's pretty good. See, that's another thing with the added damage effectiveness. If it gets high enough, then stuff like that's going to be big. 10% area is the 20%. Let's see, and 195.9 base damage. That is pretty good. So, what do we got? If 65 less, it depends on how many hits you get out. That's one thing. I guess we'll just have to see when the actual skill comes out, just to see how much single target it has. Chain and hook, we got 120% of base attack speed. So this is the kind of reverse Brutus thing that we got. 135 of base. Shockwave has plus 1% radius per 5 rage. Ooh, this is a rage mechanic. Gain 1 rage if you use this skill, if this skill hits any enemies. Okay, it's kind of cool. So, throw out a chain, pulling you to the enemy hit and creating a shockwave that deals damage in an area when close to the enemy. Just causes the shockwave directly. Requires a one-handed mace, sword, or axe. So that's kind of interesting. That might be a good travel skill. I wonder how that compares to something like Consecrated Path as far as... I mean, it generates a rage, so that's a bonus. But a lot of times if you want to use something like that to get around to enemies, Consecrated Path might be the better option. I don't know, we'll see. What is this? Shockwave, let's see the numbers here. So, up at the top, supported skills deal 10% increased melee damage. I'm guessing that's the 20%. And I see a 10% down there, so I'm guessing that. Or I see a cooldown recovery speed. Maybe that affects it. Or some combination. Supported skills will trigger shockwave on hit. Supported skills can only be used with maces and staves. So this is a mace and staff thing. Probably a good earthquake situation here. We got deals 200 and... Whoa! That's pretty big. That is crazy. It does have a cooldown time there of 1 second, but with the cooldown recovery speed, I wonder if you could match Earthquake's time. This is essentially, I mean, it has plus 3 radius. What's the base radius, I wonder? If the radius is big enough, either way, that's a huge amount of damage. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, that... I mean, it depends on the area, but as far as bossing potential at least, that looks good. That's almost better than Mirage Archer. Or better than Mirage Archer. Yeah, I think. Could be crazy, but I think it is. What do we got? Frost Blink. This is cool. Oh wow, it actually has a decent bit of cold damage. Base duration is 3 seconds. Increased chill, effective chill. 90% increased cooldown recovery speed for each normal or magic enemy in area. And 99% increased cooldown recovery speed for each rare or unique enemy in the area. And its cooldown is 2.6 seconds. It's an instant cast. Critical strike chance and effective added damage. That's... That effective chill though, it's pretty good. That'd be cool just to blink around and use a vortex on the Cold Dot Occultist build instead of just using Flame Dash. That looks pretty... It's pretty good. Yeah. I kind of want to revisit that a little bit. I might, who knows? You could strap, since that chills, you could strap, what is it, the Bone chill to it. Bone chill support would be good on that. That'd be pretty nice. Okay, precision. Here we go. Mana reservation. Wait, really? Just I mean, huh? That's pretty cool if you're reserving mana, but because I'm thinking about using blood magic on a build, that's almost nothing for me to reserve. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty legit. Maybe that's why, because you get one free. I bet that's why they used it, because otherwise this would be too much. Yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, I'm doing a crit build anyway, so I was going to use something like determination, but I think I found how I'm getting my accuracy. Definitely through this. And I could use empower on it, bump it up. I mean, that was my plan with like whatever aura I use, so yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, Flesh and Stone. Here we go. This is the cast an aura that affects you nearby enemies differently depending on your stance. Okay, so another blood stance, sand stance kind of thing. So if you have this, so I guess you can have both. So if you have both in, does it matter which one you use to switch stances? So that's kind of cool. If this whole blood and sand thing, you can use both of these. Anyway, cooldown time is 2 seconds, same thing as the other. In reserve, 25%. 10%, okay. 23% cooldown recovery speed, I'm guessing that's the 20%. Maybe not. Either way, enemies maimed by this skill take 16% increased physical damage. Nearby enemies are maimed while in blood stance. Nearby enemies are blinded while in sand stance, which is a huge defense bonus. Especially now that things are more accurate. That's pretty big. You take 11% less damage taken from enemies that aren't nearby while in sand stance. And there's that notorious nearby, whatever that means. So, yeah, pretty good. Impel. Sword attacks have 40% chance to impel enemies on hit. That's pretty nice, actually, having a good source of impel. Supported attacks have 59% increased impel effect, and supported skills deal 50% more physical damage. So I'm guessing the attacks have a chance. Is that quality? Or does quality go to the impel effect? One or the other. But either way, good source of impel. A little bit more multiplier. So kind of hope that's a little bit higher, but oh well. These beggars can't be choosers. Pride. Nearby enemies take at least 19% more physical damage. This is a new aura. 50% mana reserved. Yeah. Okay. 20% increased area of effect. I'm guessing that's the quality. Or the... Maybe you just get that for leveling it. Because I'm guessing the plus 10 to radius is probably the quality. That's normally what most auras are. So, raising up to 39% as they stay in the aura for 4 seconds. It's pretty good. Especially if you're staying on things. That's actually quite a bit. I mean, that's... I forget what vulnerability is, but I think that's close. I don't know. I wonder if you'd probably prefer just using a blasphemy. I mean, I guess if you're socket starved, that's 1 compared to blasphemy vulnerability. But I mean, get that plus vulnerability on hit, that would be pretty good. So some kind of thing like that. Is there? Yeah, okay, I guess you could do like an Orb of Storms, Curse on Hit kind of situation instead. That'd be good. Pulverize, here we go. Another, I think actually this is the last one. But what we got here? Supported skills deal 10% increased area damage. Okay, this is the more area. Supported skills have 30% more area of effect. Ooh. Earthquake and, well, especially Earthquake, because the next thing there is a less attack speed, 15%. So Ice Crash and I guess Earthquake for this. And supported skills deal 45% more melee area damage, which that is pretty legit. So I guess, yeah, on pretty much everything. I mean, that would be one that I guess you could switch out for like a melee physical or something to give a little bit more, but you probably already have it. And at the same time, even then, you're not saving that much damage, or, you know, for the time to switch things out might be a little bit too much of a hassle. So I mean, that's pretty good. But yeah, so that's all the new gems. Cool. I'm going to be doing a few more videos after this. It's going to be the patch note highlights, some build ideas, and then tomorrow, hopefully when we get the gems in, I'll actually make a final builds I plan on playing video, as well as maybe some recommendations in there at the same time for starter builds. So anyways, like, comment, and subscribe and all that jazz. Thanks for watching. Peace.